Did you know that 8 out of 10 pet owners are unintentionally harming their dog's skin, coat, and long-term health every single time they give them a bath? The most concerning part is that they believe they are doing something beneficial. These are not rare occurrences. They are happening in millions of households right now. Veterinarians witness the consequences every week: infections, hair loss, skin diseases, and organ stress. Yet most owners never link these issues back to bath time. Only a small percentage of dog owners ever discover the truth. Those who do ensure their dogs live longer, healthier, and more comfortable lives. Watch closely until the end. You will be shocked at how many of these errors you are making currently and how simple they are to correct. Let us begin. Bathing your dog too frequently causes hidden damage you cannot see. Most owners assume more baths result in a cleaner, healthier pet. It feels like the responsible thing to do, and they smell better. However, beneath the surface, your dog's skin produces natural oils called sebum, which acts as a protective barrier to lock in moisture and block bacteria. Every time you bathe your dog, you strip these oils away. If you bathe them too often, the skin never has a chance to recover. It becomes dry, cracked, and inflamed, creating an open door for infections, hot spots, and chronic itching. Over time, a compromised skin barrier forces the immune system to work overtime, leading to low-grade inflammation that stresses internal organs, including the kidneys and liver. The fix is that most dogs only need a bath every 4 to 6 weeks. Dogs with specific skin conditions may require a vet-approved schedule. More is not better. It is damaging. Using human shampoo or soap can burn your dog's skin. Perhaps you ran out of dog shampoo, and your own smells great and feels gentle. What is the harm? Human skin has a pH level of around 5.5, which is slightly acidic. Dog skin sits at a pH of 6.5 to 7.5, which is nearly neutral. Human shampoos are formulated for human pH. When used on a dog, they aggressively disrupt the skin's acid mantle, the invisible protective film that keeps bacteria and fungi out. The result is redness, itching, flaking, and an environment where infections thrive. Repeated use risks chronic dermatitis, secondary bacterial infections, and a dog that scratches itself raw. Dish soap is equally dangerous as it is designed to cut grease, meaning it will strip every protective oil from your dog's coat and skin. The fix is to always use a shampoo specifically formulated for dogs. Check the pH range on the label. It should be between 6.5 and 7.5. Choosing strongly scented dog shampoos means what smells good to you is toxic to them. Dogs possess up to 300 million olfactory receptors in their noses, while humans have about 6 million. What registers as a pleasant scent to you hits your dog like standing next to an industrial chemical plant. The problem goes beyond mere discomfort. Many synthetic fragrances contain compounds called phthalates and parabens, which are chemicals linked to hormonal disruption and organ stress in animals. These are absorbed through the skin during bathing and accumulate in the body over time. Additionally, strong scents cause measurable stress responses in dogs, such as elevated cortisol, increased heart rate, and anxiety behaviors. Chronic stress from repeated grooming sessions creates long-term cardiovascular and immune strain. Veterinary dermatologists consistently identify artificial fragrances as one of the most common and overlooked triggers for recurring skin allergies in dogs. The fix is to choose fragrance-free or naturally scented shampoos with short, recognizable ingredient lists. If you cannot identify an ingredient, your dog's body will likely struggle to process it as well. Not rinsing shampoo completely leaves residue that slowly destroys your dog from the outside in. Most owners rinse until the water looks clear and assume the job is finished. However, shampoo does not behave like dirt. It binds to hair follicles and skin pores, and clear water does not guarantee clean skin. Shampoo residue left on the coat continues to react with the skin long after the bath. It breaks down the protective barrier, traps moisture against the surface, and creates a warm, chemical-rich environment where bacteria and yeast thrive. The result is persistent itching, hot spots, and recurring skin infections that many owners treat repeatedly without identifying the real cause. Over months, chronic skin inflammation triggers immune responses that stress internal organs. Veterinary dermatologists report that residual shampoo is one of the most underdiagnosed causes of recurring dermatitis in otherwise healthy dogs. The fix is to rinse twice as long as you think is necessary. Part the coat down to the skin and rinse in sections. If you see any lather or feel any slipperiness, keep rinsing. Using water that is too hot or too cold shocks your dog's body every bath. Many owners use water that feels comfortable to their own hand, but your hand is not your dog's skin. Comfort for you can be damaging for them. Water that is too hot strips protective oils even faster than overwashing, opens pores excessively, and can cause surface burns on sensitive skin, especially in short-coated breeds with less hair acting as a buffer. Hot water also raises your dog's core body temperature rapidly, putting stress on the cardiovascular system during an already anxiety-inducing experience. Conversely, water that is too cold causes muscles to tense, triggers stress hormones, and can cause genuine physical pain for older dogs or those with joint issues. Cold water also fails to properly open the coat for effective cleaning. Repeated thermal stress contributes to chronic low-grade inflammation, the silent driver behind many long-term health issues in dogs. The fix is to use lukewarm water around 30 centimeter or 98 pSi. Test it on the inside of your wrist, not your palm. It should feel neutral, neither warm nor cool. Failing to fully wet the coat before shampooing is a mistake that makes everything worse. This might seem minor, but it is not. When you apply shampoo to a coat that is not fully saturated, the shampoo distributes unevenly, concentrating in patches rather than spreading across the skin surface. High-concentration shampoo sitting directly on dry skin is significantly more irritating than properly diluted shampoo on a fully wet coat. Additionally, a dry or partially wet coat resists lathering, so most owners compensate by using far more shampoo than necessary. More shampoo means more chemical contact with the skin, harder rinsing, and a dramatically higher chance of residue being left behind, feeding directly into the damage of previous mistakes. For double-coated breeds like Huskies or Golden Retrievers, water simply beads off the outer coat if applied too quickly. Proper saturation requires slow, thorough wetting that reaches all the way down to the skin, which can take several minutes longer than most owners spend. The fix is to spend at least 2 to 3 minutes thoroughly wetting the entire coat before applying any shampoo. The coat should be completely saturated with no dry patches anywhere. Scrubbing the skin too hard creates wounds you cannot see. Bath time feels like a good opportunity for a deep clean, so owners scrub firmly and thoroughly. In doing so, they cause damage that will not be visible for days. A dog's skin is significantly thinner and more sensitive than human skin, roughly 3 to 5 cell layers thick compared to our 10 to 15. Vigorous scrubbing with fingernails or rough grooming tools creates microscopic tears in this delicate surface. These micro wounds do not bleed, so you will not see them, but they become entry points for bacteria, yeast, and environmental allergens. Repeated aggressive scrubbing also stimulates excessive oil production as the skin attempts to repair itself, ironically making your dog's coat greasier faster and creating a cycle where owners bathe more frequently, causing more damage. Veterinary skin specialists consistently identify owner scrubbing technique as a contributing factor in many cases of recurrent bacterial skin infections, like pyoderma in dogs with no other underlying condition. The fix is to use only your fingertips in slow circular motions. Never use fingernails or stiff brushes directly on the skin. Gentle and thorough always beats hard and fast. Leaving the coat damp after bathing is a silent infection you are growing at home. Once the bath is done and your dog shakes off, they might seem mostly dry, and you move on. This is one of the most common and damaging mistakes in the entire list. A damp coat traps moisture directly against the skin surface for hours. In that warm, wet environment, bacteria and yeast multiply at alarming rates. This creates a condition called moist dermatitis, or more commonly hot spots, which can develop within hours of bath time and spread rapidly across large areas of skin. For thick or double-coated breeds, the outer coat can feel dry to the touch while the undercoat remains completely saturated. Owners assume the dog is dry, but the skin underneath is incubating an infection. Chronic repeated episodes of moist dermatitis cause progressive skin damage, scarring of hair follicles, and in severe cases, deep tissue infections requiring antibiotic treatment. Veterinary clinics see a measurable spike in hotspot cases in the days following home bathing. The fix is to always dry your dog thoroughly immediately after bathing. Towel dry first, then finish completely with a dryer on low heat. Never let a damp dog air dry unsupervised indoors. Using high heat when blow drying essentially cooks the skin you just washed. After toweling off, many owners reach for a hairdryer and point it directly at the coat on high heat. It is faster, and the dog gets dry in minutes. The damage, however, lasts much longer. High heat from blow dryers causes immediate moisture loss from the skin surface far beyond what is healthy. It denatures the proteins in the hair shaft, creating brittle, damaged fur that breaks easily and loses its natural protective structure. More critically, it burns the skin's outer layer, often without visible redness at first, disrupting the same protective barrier that every mistake on this list destroys from a different angle. Dogs cannot tell you they are in pain. Many will simply stand still and tolerate discomfort because they have been trained to accept grooming. This silent tolerance masks ongoing thermal damage. Professional groomers are trained to keep dryers at a safe distance and temperature, but most home users are not. The fix is to always use a dryer on the lowest heat setting, held at least 20 to 30 centimeters from the coat. Keep the dryer moving constantly and never hold it in one spot. Skipping brushing before bathing turns a simple bath into a nightmare. Most owners bathe first and brush after, thinking it is logical to wash away the dirt then detangle. But this sequence causes significant avoidable damage to both the coat and the skin underneath. When a matted or unbrushed coat gets wet, the tangles tighten. Water causes hair shafts to swell, locking knots into hard compressed masses that are nearly impossible to remove without cutting. What was a manageable tangle before the bath becomes a solid mat after it, pulling constantly against the skin, causing irritation, restricting airflow, and trapping moisture against the surface. Attempting to brush or detangle a wet matted coat causes hair breakage and pulls at the skin repeatedly, creating the same microtrauma described earlier. Over time, areas of chronic matting develop thickened, inflamed skin underneath that is highly vulnerable to infection. Pre-bath brushing also removes loose hair and debris, allowing water and shampoo to penetrate the coat evenly, directly improving the effectiveness of the entire bath. The fix is to always brush thoroughly before bathing. Remove all tangles and mats while the coat is completely dry. Never attempt to detangle a wet coat. Pulling or cutting out mats the wrong way can send your dog to the emergency room. Mats happen, and when owners find them, the instinct is to deal with them immediately. Fingers pull, scissors cut, and the problem is solved, except it often isn't. Pulling mats apart with fingers or a brush tears hair from follicles and stretches skin that is already inflamed and tender underneath the mat. The skin beneath a mat is almost always in a compromised state. It has been deprived of airflow, accumulated moisture, and in many cases, begun to break down. Aggressive pulling on this already damaged skin causes wounds that are invisible until they become infected. Cutting mats with scissors is even more dangerous. The skin beneath a mat is often pulled upward into the mat itself, sitting far closer to the surface than it appears. Thousands of dogs are brought to veterinary emergency rooms each year with lacerations caused by owners attempting to cut out mats at home. The fix is to never cut into a mat with scissors pointed toward the skin. Use a mat splitter or dematting comb first to divide the mat. For severe mats, always take your dog to a professional groomer. Shaving double-coated dogs too short is an irreversible mistake most owners do not know they are making. It is summer, and your husky or golden retriever looks hot. Shaving them short seems like an act of kindness, but it is one of the worst things you can do to their long-term health. Double-coated breeds have two distinct layers, a dense insulating undercoat and a protective outer coat of guard hairs. This system does not just keep dogs warm in winter, it actively regulates body temperature in both directions, reflects heat in summer, and protects the skin from UV radiation and insect exposure. When you shave a double-coated dog too short, you remove this entire system. The dog is now exposed to direct sun with no UV protection, dramatically increasing the risk of sunburn and skin cancer. Body temperature regulation is severely compromised. More permanently, shaving too short often causes a condition called post-clipping alopecia, where the coat grows back incorrectly with the undercoat and guard hairs growing in the wrong proportions. In some cases, the coat never fully recovers. This is irreversible. The fix is to never shave a double-coated breed. Manage heat through regular brushing to remove excess undercoat, proper hydration, shade, and cooling mats instead. Now you know exactly how to keep your dog's skin, coat, and health protected every single bath time. Did any of these mistakes shock you? Drop your number in the comments and hit subscribe so you never miss a tip that could save your dog's life. But here is the scary truth. What you put in your dog may be doing even more damage than what you put on them. So go ahead and watch our next video to uncover the 10 deadly dog feeding mistakes vets warn about, including number 2, which most loving owners do every single day without realizing it. Skip it, and the damage happening at the food bowl will quietly undo everything you just learned today. If this guide has changed the way you look at your dog's grooming routine, please subscribe and like the channel. We are uncovering the health secrets that are often overlooked to help you provide the best life for your pet. Let's build a healthier future together. The next essential guide will be opening soon.